You've done everything right, haven't you? You read the books, repeated the affirmations, started journaling, meditating, drinking more water. You smile more now. People say you look better, stronger, healed. But sometimes in the silence, you feel it. That empty echo inside your chest, like something was skipped, forgotten, like you left a part of yourself behind, and now you're pretending not to notice. Maybe what you call healing is just well-practiced silence. Because what if healing, true healing, isn't what you thought it was? What if peace isn't always soft? What if growth doesn't glow? What if being okay is just your nervous system giving up on being heard? They told you healing meant moving on, letting go, rising above. But they never told you that sometimes healing feels like falling apart in private, over and over, until your heart becomes a place you no longer flinch from. You think you're strong for not crying. You think you're mature for staying calm. But what if you're just numb? You've turned your pain into a story you can tell without trembling, into a brand, into bullet points. You call that progress. But late at night, your body remembers what your mouth forgets. You scroll past memories like they don't sting. You speak of forgiveness like it didn't nearly kill you. You meditate, affirm, detox, pray, but never scream, never collapse, never rage. And isn't that strange? You've healed everything, except the part of you that still feels broken. Maybe it's because healing became a performance, one that looks great in the mirror, sounds inspiring on social media, but quietly keeps you disconnected from your own heartbeat. Because when was the last time you let yourself be ugly with grief? To sob so hard you forgot what you were crying about? To admit that you're still angry, still scared, still not over it? You wear "I'm fine" like armor, smile like a disguise, and the world claps for your strength, but it never asks if it's real. You stopped bleeding, sure, but did the wound ever close? Or did you just build a life around avoiding it? See, suppressed emotions don't disappear. They dig in, they grow roots, they become habits, triggers, illnesses, silence. You say you've moved on, but do you sleep at night without background noise? Do you sit with yourself without needing distraction? Or does stillness make you itch? Because peace doesn't always come in mantras and breathwork. Sometimes it comes through breaking, through unlearning, and through finally letting go of the need to look like you've let go. You've made healing your identity, but who are you without the script, without the story of pain turned triumph? Sometimes healing means becoming soft again, letting the world touch you, letting your voice shake, letting yourself miss what you swore you didn't need. True healing doesn't hide. It doesn't perform. It doesn't seek applause. It's quiet, messy, private, relentlessly honest. And maybe it starts the moment you stop trying to prove that you're already healed. But maybe that's not where it ends. Maybe healing begins again, when you finally listen to the part of you you've silenced for so long. The child who never got to cry, the lover who was told to toughen up, the adult who never stopped pretending. Because beneath the numbness, beneath the routine, beneath the convincing smile is someone waiting to be felt, not understood, not analyzed, just felt. What if you gave yourself permission to break, not fall apart forever, just long enough to hear the truth beneath the noise? What if real healing is about being honest, even if your honesty makes people uncomfortable, even if it makes you uncomfortable? Maybe you're not behind in your healing. Maybe you're just finally arriving. Because peace isn't always pretty, and growth doesn't always come with grace. Sometimes it shows up disguised as grief, as anger, as silence you can't escape. And in those moments, when nothing makes sense, when every mask falls off, and the only thing left is your raw, unfiltered self. That's where the truth lives. That's where healing starts to feel like freedom. Not because you've risen above the pain, but because you've stopped running from it. So, sit, feel, cry if you need to, scream if you must. Let yourself be seen, not by others, by you. You don't need another quote, another mantra, another checklist. You need permission to be whole. And if no one else gives it to you, let this be the moment you give it to yourself. And if you're still holding on to the idea that you must be okay by now, that the tears should have stopped, that your smile should have returned, that your strength should have come back louder, maybe you need to hear this. You are not a failure for still hurting. You are not weak for still missing what you lost. You are simply human, learning how to carry something invisible, trying to breathe through weight you can't explain.
Maybe healing isn't about forgetting. Maybe it's about remembering, gently, touching the pain without it consuming you. Maybe it's about loving yourself even in your most unlovable moments, not because you're perfect, but because you're real. And the real you, raw and trembling, is far more worthy than any perfect image you ever tried to live up to. Let the image go. Let the noise settle. Let your truth speak. Even if your voice shakes, even if no one claps, even if all it brings you is silence. Because in that silence, maybe for the first time, you'll finally hear what healing really sounds like. Your own heartbeat, unmasked, unedited, unapologetically alive. And if that heartbeat is slow, heavy, unsure, it's okay. Because you're not racing anyone. You're not behind. You're in the process. Healing isn't a destination. It's a conversation. A sacred, quiet one between the parts of you that were never allowed to speak. Let them speak now, all of them. Even the ones you thought had nothing left to say. Even the ones you tried to forget. They are still part of your story. And maybe, just maybe, when they are finally heard, you will no longer need to be healed at all. You will just be whole, and perhaps in that wholeness you'll find the kind of peace that doesn't need performance, the kind of joy that isn't loud but steady, the kind of strength that bends without breaking. So the next time someone asks if you're healed, maybe you won't feel the need to say yes. Maybe you'll just breathe, smile. Not out of habit, but from a place of knowing. Knowing that healing is not a finish line, but a rhythm, a returning. And every time you return to yourself, that's enough. You're enough, right here, still healing, still whole, still here.